I'm so glad you found your way here. Welcome to Get Sleepy Science. Your body is healing itself right now, repairing damage while you simply exist, rebuilding strength in the quiet darkness of rest. You'll discover the hidden power winter gives your mind and body, and understand why the coldest season prepares you for the warmest transformations. Wherever you are right now, perhaps feeling the weight of winter's quiet, or sensing something dormant waiting within you, feel free to settle into this gentle exploration. We'll discover 100 nature facts about winter's gift of renewal, from frozen soil secretly preparing spring gardens, to your brain rewiring itself during long winter nights, to the moment rest becomes the seed of new beginnings. These calm explorations of Earth's wisdom plant seeds of tranquility in restless hearts. Sharing this gentle science creates a pathway for more nature lovers to discover this healing ground, one sleepy soul at a time. Your presence here nurtures our growing forest of peace. Sink into your favorite resting spot. Perhaps notice your muscles releasing, each breath growing softer. There's no need to remember these facts about winter. Just notice that warm, drowsy, calm washing over you, like gentle snow falling on quiet hills, each flake drawing you deeper into restful, effortless sleep. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You're resting where ancient rhythms whisper secrets of eternal renewal. Let your mind sink with winter's calm. And now we begin. Winter looks like an ending, but it's actually a beginning in disguise. When temperatures drop and daylight fades, most of us see death, bare trees, frozen ground, sleeping animals. But beneath this apparent stillness, winter is the busiest season of preparation in nature. Seeds are breaking down their shells underground, tree roots are growing deeper, and animals are conserving energy for spring's demands. According to recent ecological studies from 2024, winter dormancy is not passive waiting, but active transformation. The same is true for human beings. When we honor winter's call to rest, we're not stopping, we're preparing. Winter teaches us that rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is where productivity begins. Your body knows winter is coming before your mind does. Even in our climate-controlled modern world, humans remain deeply connected to seasonal rhythms. Research from the National Institutes of Health in 2024 shows that as daylight decreases, your brain's suprachiasmatic nucleus, your biological clock, detects the change within days. It begins shifting hormone production, adjusting your sleep-wake cycle, and preparing your metabolism for winter mode. You might feel more tired in November and December. That's not laziness. That's your ancient biology responding correctly to seasonal signals. Your body is trying to guide you toward rest, just as it guided your ancestors for hundreds of thousands of years. We need winter rest to stay balanced. Winter literally changes the structure of your brain. Neuroscience research from 2023 reveals that human brains undergo subtle but measurable changes during winter months. The hippocampus, your memory center, shows increased connectivity during shorter days, helping you process and consolidate memories more deeply. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex shows decreased activity, naturally encouraging you to reflect rather than react. These changes are temporary and adaptive. Your brain is using winter's quietness to organize information and clear out unnecessary neural connections. Come spring, your brain will be faster, clearer, and more creative, but only if you give it the winter rest it needs. Bears don't truly hibernate in the way most people think. True hibernation, where body temperature drops dramatically and the animal becomes nearly unresponsive, only happens in smaller mammals, like ground squirrels and bats. Bears enter a state called torpor, where their metabolism slows by about 50%, but they can still wake up if needed. During this winter rest, bears don't eat, drink, urinate, or defecate for up to 7 months. Yet they emerge in spring healthy and strong, According to wildlife biology research from 2024, scientists are studying bear physiology to understand muscle preservation, hoping to help bedridden hospital patients avoid muscle loss. The lesson for humans is clear. Even when you're resting, your body is working. Winter rest is not lazy, it's efficient. Seasonal affective disorder affects about 5% of people in northern latitudes, with another 10 to 15% experiencing milder winter mood changes. But rather than seeing this as illness, recent research from 2024 suggests that some seasonal mood shifts may actually be your body's healthy response to winter, misinterpreted as disorder because it conflicts with modern schedules. Your ancestors responded to winter darkness by sleeping more, eating stored foods, and doing less. But modern society demands the same output year-round. The fatigue, the desire to sleep more, the preference for quiet. These might be correct biological signals in the wrong cultural context. The essential part is that if winter sadness is actually winter wisdom, asking you to rest, then perhaps the solution is cooperation, not medication. Trees are not sleeping during winter, they're growing, just not where you can see. While branches stand bare above ground, tree roots continue growing beneath the frost line, where soil stays warmer. Studies from Forest Ecology in 2023 show that many temperate trees actually grow more root mass in winter than in summer. They're using the energy they're not spending on leaves to expand their foundation. This makes them stronger when spring arrives. The same principle applies to human rest. When you stop trying to produce visible results, your deeper foundations grow stronger. You're building resilience that will support everything you create later. Winter rest is invisible growth. Your immune system gets stronger in winter if you rest properly. Despite what many believe, winter doesn't make you sick. Winter makes you stronger if you honor its rhythms. Research from immunology studies in 2024 shows that melatonin, which increases during long winter nights, appears to enhance immune function by helping your body produce more white blood cells and supporting natural killer cell activity. But here's the essential part. This immune boost only happens if you actually sleep during those dark hours. If you use artificial light to stay awake late, you suppress melatonin and weaken immunity. Winter is offering you a gift of health, if you're willing to receive it through rest. Soil rests in winter too, and that rest is essential for future growth. Agricultural scientists have known for centuries that fields need to lie fallow periodically, but recent research from 2023 reveals just how active resting soil really is. During winter, beneficial bacteria and fungi multiply in cold soil. They break down last year's dead plant matter, converting it into rich nutrients. Earthworms tunnel deeper, aerating the soil for spring. By the time spring arrives, soil that rested through winter is far more fertile than soil that was forced to produce year-round. When you stop producing, stop performing, stop pushing, your inner soil is regenerating. Winter silence grows your brain, but only if you stop interrupting it. Winter darkness increases melatonin production by up to 300% in some individuals. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it's a cellular repair signal. When melatonin levels rise, your body interprets this as permission to shift from daytime survival mode into nighttime restoration mode. Cells begin fixing DNA damage accumulated during the day. The brain activates its glymphatic system, flushing out toxins and proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease. According to chronobiology research from 2024, winter's extended darkness creates ideal conditions for deep cellular maintenance that's difficult to achieve during bright summer months. To receive winter's renewal, you simply need to accept winter's rest. So yes, winter rest is already changing how you understand rest itself, showing you that stillness is not emptiness, but fullness, preparing to emerge. Halfway through these first facts, We're beginning to see that winter's apparent death is actually life concentrating, gathering, preparing for explosion. Every bare branch, every sleeping animal, every quiet moment you give yourself, these are not endings. They are compressed beginnings, springs waiting to unfold. The question we're exploring tonight is why winter rest prepares you for new beginnings. Already, the evidence is clear. Without the pause, there can be no leap forward. Your body knows this. Trees know this. The soil knows this. Only your modern mind resists. But that resistance is loosening now. Humans naturally need 1 to 2 hours more sleep during winter months. This isn't weakness, it's biology. A 2023 study tracking human sleep patterns across seasons found that even in cities with artificial lighting, people sleeping in naturally dark rooms extended their sleep duration by an average of 70 minutes during December and January compared to June and July. This extra sleep was predominantly REM sleep, the stage where emotional processing, creativity, and memory consolidation happen. Your brain is using longer nights to do deeper maintenance work. Traditional societies structured life around this need, creating longer storytelling nights and reduced travel during winter months. They understood that winter gives you extra time with your inner world. Butterflies don't hide from winter. They transform through it. The monarch butterfly's winter migration and metamorphosis is one of nature's most profound examples of rest as transformation. Monarchs that emerge in early fall are different from summer monarchs. They live 8 months instead of 8 weeks. These special winter monarchs don't reproduce. They focus entirely on survival and journey. During this rest, their bodies preserve energy, repair cellular damage, and prepare for the spring migration. According to entomology research from 2024, this transformation is triggered by shortened daylight and cooler temperatures. For humans, the metaphor is clear. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is stop trying to reproduce yourself into the world. Just exist, preserve, and prepare. Your circadian rhythm naturally shifts during winter toward earlier sleep and later waking. This is called seasonal circadian adjustment, and it's encoded in your DNA from thousands of generations of ancestors. Research from 2024 shows that the suprachiasmatic nucleus adjusts its timing based on available daylight, preparing you for longer sleep even if you ignore the signal. Many people experience this as feeling tired by 8 p.m. in winter. Traditional Scandinavian cultures embraced this, creating cozy evening rituals and accepting winter as a season of long rest. They emerge in spring refreshed, creative, and energized. Rest with winter instead of fighting it. Seeds wait in winter cold because cold is required for germination. This process, called stratification, is fascinating and instructive. Many plant seeds will not sprout in spring unless they've experienced winter cold first. The cold triggers biochemical changes, breaking down germination inhibitors, softening seed coats, preparing embryonic plants for growth. Without winter, these seeds remain dormant indefinitely. For humans, this offers a profound lesson about preparation and readiness. Sometimes the discomfort you're experiencing, the cold, dark, difficult season, is not punishment. It's preparation. Trust the winter. Trust the cold. Trust that when spring comes, you'll be ready to grow in ways that weren't possible before. Snow actually insulates the ground beneath it, protecting life. This seems counterintuitive. How can cold snow keep things warm? But snow is full of air pockets, and air is an excellent insulator. A thick layer of snow can keep soil temperatures around 32 degrees Fahrenheit, even when air above is far below zero. Small mammals create entire tunnel systems under snow, where they stay active all winter. According to climate research from 2024, ecosystems dependent on consistent snow cover are struggling as winters warm. The lesson translates to human rest. Sometimes what looks like harsh conditions on the surface are actually protecting tender new growth underneath. Honor the protective layer you create around yourself. Your body temperature naturally drops slightly during winter months, measurably, though not dangerously. Studies from 2023 show this temperature drop corresponds with increased melatonin production and deeper sleep quality. Lower body temperature signals to every cell. This is rest time, repair time, not action time. Yet modern heating systems keep indoor temperatures at summer levels year-round. Your body tries to cool down for winter rest, and your environment forces it back to summer alertness. Traditional cultures dressed warmly and kept living spaces cooler in winter, allowing natural temperature drops to occur. Maybe winter fatigue is not a problem to solve, but a signal to follow. Wolves hunt less in winter and rest more. Even though food is scarcer, this seems like poor strategy. Shouldn't they hunt more when food is harder to find? But wolf packs know something. Energy conservation matters more than food acquisition when resources are limited. According to wildlife biology research from 2024, wolf packs reduce their hunting territory by 30 to 40% during winter months. They rest together in sheltered areas for longer periods, conserving body heat and energy. When returns are diminishing, rest more and act less. Winter is not the season to prove yourself through exhausting effort. Winter is the season to conserve strength for spring's better opportunities. Frozen water expands, and this expansion creates life. When water freezes, it forms a crystalline structure that takes up more space than liquid water. This is why ice floats. But there's a beneficial side. Ice expansion fractures rocks, creating soil. It breaks up hard clay, aerating it for plant growth. According to geology research from 2023, freeze-thaw cycles are one of Earth's primary soil creation mechanisms. Sometimes, what feels like expanding pressure breaking you apart is actually creating space for new growth. Winter's discomfort might be the exact process that creates cracks in old patterns, opening you up for spring's new possibilities. Trust the expansion. Owls hunt more successfully in winter because snow amplifies sound. When landscape is covered in snow, every tiny rustle of a mouse under the surface becomes more audible. Snow acts as an acoustic blanket, absorbing ambient noise while allowing specific sounds to travel clearly. According to ornithology research from 2024, winter is actually a better hunting season for owls than summer. Despite fewer prey, the quiet amplifies what matters. For humans, winter offers the same gift. When you reduce noise, you hear yourself more clearly. Stop filling winter with distraction. Winter is offering you the gift of clarity through silence. Human creativity increases after periods of winter rest. Multiple studies from psychology and neuroscience in 2023 and 2024 confirm that breakthrough creative insights are more likely after extended rest periods than after intense work periods. Your brain's default mode network, active during rest and daydreaming, makes connections between distant concepts that focused attention misses. Winter's forced slowdown activates this network more consistently than any other season. Your most meaningful breakthroughs are forming during rest. Stop trying so hard. Winter will deliver creativity to you, but only if you let it. Deer shed their antlers every winter and regrow them every spring. This annual cycle is one of the fastest bone growths in the animal kingdom, but the cycle requires winter rest first. After shedding antlers in winter, male deer experience a dramatic drop in testosterone. Their bodies shift from competition mode to survival mode. They rest more and focus entirely on making it through winter. According to wildlife endocrinology research from 2024, this cycle teaches us about productive rest. Deer don't try to grow antlers while also surviving winter. First, rest and survive. Second, grow and compete. Winter is not the season to prove yourself. Winter is the season to prepare yourself. Lakes freeze from the top down, protecting life below. If water behaved like most liquids, freezing from the bottom up, every lake would fill with solid ice, killing all aquatic life each winter. But water has unique properties. Its maximum density occurs at 39 degrees Fahrenheit, just above freezing. As lakes cool in fall, colder water sinks until the entire lake reaches 39 degrees. Only then does the surface water cool further and freeze, forming an insulating ice layer on top. According to limnology research from 2023, this quirk of water chemistry makes freshwater life possible in cold climates. Nature protects what needs protecting during difficult seasons. Trust your instinct to withdraw and insulate yourself during winter. Evergreen trees don't stop photosynthesis in winter. They slow down. Pine, spruce, and fir trees keep their needles all winter, still producing small amounts of energy through photosynthesis on sunny winter days. But they reduce their metabolic rate dramatically, sometimes to 10% of summer levels. Forest ecology research from 2024 shows that evergreen's winter strategy is about maintaining minimal function rather than complete shutdown. For humans, this offers a middle path. Maybe winter is about doing the minimum necessary to maintain function, knowing that efficiency now allows thriving later. Slow progress is still progress. Your ancestors survived winter by telling stories. Before written language, humans passed long winter nights gathered around fires, sharing oral histories, myths, and personal stories. Anthropology research from 2023 suggests that winter storytelling was essential for human development. Long, dark evenings created hours of uninterrupted time for complex narratives. Children learned their culture's values. Adults processed the year's experiences. Neuroscience now reveals why this mattered. Storytelling activates the same brain regions as actually experiencing events. Winter gave your ancestors time to learn from thousands of experiences through stories. Winter wants to give you time for the stories that shape you. And so, these first 25 facts reveal that winter is not the season of death you thought it was. It's the season of invisible preparation, where rest becomes the foundation for all growth. We've seen bears recycling their bodies, seeds waiting for cold, wolves choosing strategic rest, and humans requiring extra sleep for emotional clarity. The pattern is clear. Nature's way is rest before growth, stillness before movement, winter before spring. The old understanding was that winter stops life. The new understanding emerging is that winter concentrates life, preparing it for explosion. Your body already knows this. Your fatigue knows this. Only your modern mind resists. But that resistance is weakening now. Winter rest is not failure. Winter rest is preparation. Let's pause here and notice your body. As you breathe out slowly, appreciate each tiny cell inside. Trillions of organisms working in silence. Heart beating, lungs breathing, brain thinking, all without your command. Notice the gentle sensations on your skin, in your muscles, along your spine. You are a complete ecosystem, diverse, self-balancing, and just like winter soil regenerating in darkness, your body is restoring itself right now, in the quiet, in the stillness, preparing you for growth you haven't yet imagined. Now we continue. Winter sleep is different from summer sleep, and better for certain types of healing. Studies from 2024, analyzing sleep architecture across seasons, found that winter sleep contains more slow-wave deep sleep, the stage when growth hormone is released and physical repair happens. Summer sleep contains more REM sleep and lighter stages. But winter's longer nights give your body to cycle through more complete sleep stages, spending extra time in the deepest, most restorative phases. If you're recovering from injury, illness, or exhaustion, winter is the optimal healing season, but only if you sleep longer. Your body is offering you extra repair time. Accept it. Hibernating animals can teach humans about preventing muscle loss during inactivity. When humans stay in bed for weeks, they lose muscle mass rapidly. But hibernating bears don't eat or move for months yet maintain nearly full muscle mass. Research from 2023 discovered that during torpor, bear muscles undergo a special process called protein recycling, where muscle tissue that breaks down gets immediately rebuilt using stored resources. Scientists are working to identify the genetic switches that activate this process. The insight for healthy humans is this: your body has ancient programs for preserving itself during rest periods. When you rest in winter, you're not atrophying, you're conserving. Migratory birds that don't migrate in winter, like chickadees and nuthatches, use a different survival strategy. They grow their brains. Ornithology research from 2024 reveals that food-caching birds, which hide thousands of seeds in fall and remember locations all winter, actually expand their hippocampi, the brain's memory centers, by 10 to 15% during autumn. This extra brain tissue helps them remember where food is hidden. Come spring, these expanded brain regions shrink back to normal size. Winter is the season to expand your mind selectively. Grow the parts that will serve you in spring. Let the rest recover. Your skin actually thickens slightly during winter months. Dermatology studies from 2023 show that stratum corneum, the outermost layer of skin, increases its cell layers in response to cold, dry air. This is your body creating better insulation and moisture retention. Your body is constantly adjusting to support you through changing conditions. The fatigue, the early bedtime, the desire to stay home, these are not character flaws. These are adaptive responses. Your body is trying to protect you. Listen to it. Rivers under ice keep flowing, carving landscapes even in the coldest months. When you look at a frozen river, you see stillness, but beneath the ice, water continues moving downstream. This winter flow is essential for aquatic ecosystems. It oxygenates water and maintains the river's life even when surface appears dead. According to hydrology research from 2024, some of the most significant geological formations are carved by winter rivers flowing beneath ice. What looks like stillness from outside is actually deep current running beneath. Trust the current beneath the ice. Rest is not stillness. Rest is underground river flowing towards spring. Humans need vitamin D supplementation in winter because we evolved near the equator. Your body produces vitamin D when sunlight hits your skin, but this only works with UVB radiation, which is minimal in winter at latitudes above 37 degrees. Studies from 2024 show that vitamin D insufficiency affects 30 to 50% of people in northern regions during winter months, depending on latitude and baseline levels. Taking vitamin D supplements during winter isn't admitting weakness, it's acknowledging reality. Your ancestors adapted culturally, eating fish rich in vitamin D, but they never fully adapted genetically. Support yourself through the season your body wasn't designed for. Frost creates beautiful patterns because water molecules form hexagonal crystals. When water vapor touches a surface below freezing, it crystallizes directly into ice without becoming liquid first. Each crystal follows the same hexagonal structure, but tiny variations create infinite pattern variations. According to crystallography research from 2023, these patterns reveal the hidden mathematical order underlying seeming chaos. Maybe your life's pattern, which feels chaotic right now, is actually following a hidden order that will become visible later. Trust that there's a pattern forming even when you can't see it yet. Squirrels don't actually remember where they buried all their nuts. They find them by smell. Yet this forgetting is essential for forest regeneration. When squirrels bury thousands of nuts in fall, they retrieve only about 70% during winter. The remaining 30% stay buried and germinate in spring, becoming new trees. According to forest ecology research from 2024, squirrels are one of the most effective tree planters in temperate forests. Maybe your failures and forgettings serve purposes you don't intend. Winter rest means letting go of control. Trust the forest that grows from what you've released. Your heart rate naturally slows during winter months. Cardiology studies from 2023 found that average resting heart rate decreases by 3 to 5 beats per minute during winter compared to summer. This isn't illness, it's efficiency. When ambient temperature drops, your body doesn't need to work as hard to cool itself. Your heart is asking for a break. It's been beating continuously since before you were born. Winter is the season when it can beat a little slower. Let it. Come spring, it will be stronger for the recovery period you gave it. Some bird populations are starting to stay north longer as winters moderate. Climate change is altering migration patterns, and research from 2024 shows that some species are essentially choosing not to migrate when winters moderate enough to provide food. When conditions allow, staying put becomes smarter than exhausting yourself traveling. For humans, this challenges the assumption that you need dramatic change when seasons change. Maybe you could just adjust, scale back instead of shutting down. You don't have to migrate to a different version of yourself for winter. You just need to acknowledge that the same behaviors require different energy investments in different seasons. Permafrost stores carbon that's been frozen for tens of thousands of years. When it thaws, that ancient carbon releases into the atmosphere. Climate research from 2024 warns this creates a dangerous feedback loop. The metaphor for personal psychology is striking. Some things need to stay frozen. Some experiences are safely stored in your psychological permafrost, not forgotten but not currently active. Winter protects that frozen layer. Winter is not the season for aggressive therapy or dramatic life changes for many people. Winter is the season to stay safely frozen, protecting what needs protection until you're stronger. Some things that are buried should stay buried a little longer. Pine cones open and close based on humidity, not temperature. When air is dry, scales open to release seeds. When air is humid, scales close to protect seeds. This purely mechanical response allows pine cones to choose optimal conditions for seed dispersal without any consciousness. According to botany research from 2023, this demonstrates that intelligence exists in many forms. For humans, this suggests that your winter responses, fatigue, withdrawal, reduced motivation, aren't character failures. They're appropriate responses to environmental signals. Your winter withdrawal is intelligent protection. Honor it as the wisdom it is. Beavers slow down in winter but don't hibernate. They spend fall building lodges and gathering food stores, then pass winter mostly inside, living off cached branches. Their winter routine is simple: eat, rest, maintain warmth, wait for spring. They don't build new dams in winter. Wildlife biology research from 2024 notes that beaver winter behavior is strategic inactivity. They know winter is not the season for big projects. Maybe winter success is you maintained your relationships, you kept your health stable, you rested well. That's enough. You don't need to build new dams in January. Ice storms, despite their damage, sometimes create unexpected benefits. When ice coats trees and branches break, the fallen wood becomes habitat for countless insects and small animals. The opened canopy allows sunlight to reach understory plants. According to forest ecology research from 2023, periodic disturbance maintains forest health by preventing any single species from dominating. What looks like destruction is actually regeneration in disguise. The things that break you during winter might be creating conditions for growth you couldn't access before. Winter breaks things, but winter also prepares ground. Trust that both can be true simultaneously. And so, the evidence is mounting. Winter rest is not empty time but transformation time. Not weakness, but wisdom. Not loss, but preparation for gain. We've seen how your body adapts, thickening skin, slowing heart rate, adding deep sleep stages. We've learned how nature adapts, bears recycling muscle, birds growing brains, rivers flowing beneath ice. The pattern is consistent. Winter wants to heal you, restore you, prepare you, but you have to let it. You have to stop judging rest as laziness. You have to accept that different seasons require different strategies. This shift from resistance to cooperation is where preparation for new beginnings actually happens. Conserved energy becomes spring fuel. You're still here with me, thoughts still flickering like candlelight. Just notice, don't judge, just notice where your mind is. We're exploring winter's wisdom itself, the very rhythm that nature follows, the cycle your body wants to honor. Strange how we resist what we most need. Beautiful how winter keeps offering anyway. If this gentle journey through rest is bringing you peace, perhaps whisper it forward to someone else who's fighting their own winter. One quiet share, one peaceful night at a time. Let's drift onward together. Muscles actually grow during rest, not during exercise. When you lift weights or run, you create micro tears in muscle fibers. The exercise itself makes you weaker temporarily. It's only during rest afterward, especially during deep sleep, that your body repairs those tears, adding slightly more tissue than before. According to sports science research from 2024, athletes who prioritize sleep make faster strength gains than those who train more but sleep less. The principle extends beyond physical fitness. Growth happens during recovery, not during effort. If you want spring strength, you need winter rest. This is not optional. This is how biology works. Foxes continue hunting through winter, but change their technique completely. In summer, foxes stalk prey visually. But in winter, when prey hides under snow, foxes use mousing, leaping high into the air and diving headfirst into snow to catch rodents they've located by sound alone. Research from 2024 reveals that foxes use Earth's magnetic field to calculate the perfect angle for these blind pounces. This demonstrates sophisticated adaptation. When conditions change, successful hunters change methods entirely. For humans, this suggests that winter success requires winter methods. Stop trying to hunt like it's summer. Learn winter hunting. It's quieter, more patient, more mysterious, but equally effective when done right. Tree sap contains natural antifreeze that prevents ice crystal formation. As temperatures drop in fall, trees convert starches in their sap into sugars, which lower the freezing point of their internal fluids. According to plant physiology research from 2023, this sugar concentration is why maple syrup production happens in late winter. Trees literally sweeten themselves to survive winter. The process is called cold hardening, and it occurs gradually. Trees exposed to sudden hard freezes suffer damage. They need time to prepare. For humans, this offers guidance. You can't crash from full productivity into complete rest without adjustment. You need transition time. Honor transitions. The time you spend in transition protects you from breaking. Some frogs freeze solid in winter and thaw alive in spring. Wood frogs can survive having up to 70% of their body water frozen into ice. Their hearts stop beating. Their breathing stops. Yet when temperatures rise, they thaw and resume normal life within hours. Research from 2024 reveals that wood frogs flood their cells with glucose before freezing, which prevents ice crystals from puncturing cell membranes. For humans, the metaphor is powerful. Sometimes you need to let parts of yourself freeze to survive difficult seasons. Your social self might freeze. Your creative self might freeze. This isn't death, it's preservation. Let winter freeze what it needs to freeze. trust that thaw will bring resurrection. Snowshoe hares change color twice a year, brown in summer, white in winter, but the trigger isn't temperature, it's daylight length. Even in warm winters, snowshoe hares turn white on schedule, based solely on how many hours of daylight remain. According to zoology research from 2023, climate change is creating problems for hares in regions where winter snow comes later each year. They're following reliable ancestral cues that no longer match reality. For humans, this warns against rigid adherence to schedules that no longer serve you. Pay attention to what's actually happening, not just what calendar says should happen. Adapt to your reality, not your expectations. Icicles form when melting snow refreezes in cycles. Drip, freeze, drip, freeze. Each drip runs down the growing icicle and freezes before it falls, adding another layer. According to physics research from 2024, icicle formation demonstrates how beauty emerges from instability, from the tension between two states. For humans, this illustrates something about transitions. The most beautiful growth happens not in full winter and not in full spring, but in the unstable between times. These transition periods feel uncomfortable because you're not stable, but discomfort is where beauty forms. The instability is not a problem to solve. The instability is the process. Wolves howl more in winter, and these howls travel farther in cold air. Sound waves move differently through cold, dense air. They refract less and dissipate more slowly. A wolf howl that might carry 2 miles in summer can carry 4 miles in winter. According to acoustic ecology research from 2023, wolves use winter's acoustic properties to maintain pack communication when pack members range widely. The howl that sounds lonely is actually connection. For humans, winter can feel isolating, but maybe winter is when your communications can travel farther than you expect. Your voice matters more in winter, not less, because there's less competing noise. Speak when you're ready. Winter will carry your howl. Spring flowers like tulips and daffodils require winter cold to bloom. If you tried to grow them in perpetually warm climates, they'd produce leaves but never flowers. They need a period called vernalization, exposure to cold that triggers biochemical changes preparing them for flowering. According to horticulture research from 2024, this explains why some perennials fail to bloom after mild winters. They didn't get the cold confirmation they needed to feel safe blooming. For humans, this is profound. You need to feel the difficulty, to trust the reward is real. Without struggle, success feels suspicious. Winter's difficulty is not punishment, it's authentication. Let winter be hard enough to make spring meaningful. The aurora borealis appears more frequently in winter months. The lights themselves happen year-round, but they're only visible against dark sky. Summer's midnight sun in northern latitudes obscures aurora even when solar activity creates them. According to geophysics research from 2023, winter darkness reveals what was always there. For humans, winter darkness reveals what summer brightness obscured. Your real feelings become visible when busyness quiets. Winter is not creating new problems. Winter is revealing what was always there, but invisible in summer's glare. This can be uncomfortable, but revelation is the first step toward change. Winter's darkness is gift, not curse. It shows you truth, and so, halfway through our journey, the answer is emerging clearly. Winter rest prepares you for new beginnings by creating the biological, psychological, and spiritual conditions that make growth possible. Without muscle rest, no strength gains. Without seed cold, no flowering. Without frozen waiting, no spring explosion. The preparation is invisible, but essential. You cannot skip winter and expect spring. Winter is not obstacle between you and your goals. Winter is the path to your goals. The difficulty is the preparation. The rest is the work. The second half of our facts will deepen this answer, showing you not just what winter does, but why you personally need it. Rest deeper now. The most meaningful understandings are coming soon. Breathe slowly here, at the exact center of this journey. Feel time itself pausing, while the vast cycles continue, Earth rotating, seasons turning, years passing. This moment belongs only to you. This exact second of breathing, listening, existing in winter's stillness. Cherish the present moment, knowing that right now, somewhere beneath snow, a seed is waiting, just like you. Nothing needs to happen yet. Everything is preparing in its own perfect time, and we continue drifting. Human metabolism slows slightly during winter months. This is measurable and normal, not a personal failing. Your body is conserving energy because it evolved in environments where winter meant food scarcity. Even though modern humans have abundant food year-round, your body hasn't gotten that memo. According to endocrinology research from 2024, fighting this slowdown with extreme dieting can trigger further slowdown as your body interprets restriction as famine confirmation. The solution is counterintuitive. Accept slower metabolism as correct response to winter. Your metabolism will naturally increase in spring when daylight lengthens. You're not lazy. Your metabolism is adapting exactly as it's designed to do. Silence affects human brains differently than any sound. Neuroscience research from 2023 found that complete silence triggers specific brain activity patterns that don't occur during any type of sound. During silence, the default mode network activates more strongly, facilitating deeper self-reflection and memory consolidation. 2 hours of silence daily was shown to promote hippocampal cell growth in mice, suggesting silence might enhance memory and learning. Winter offers more silence than any other season. Modern humans fill this silence with podcasts and television, but by doing so, we might be rejecting winter's most profound gift. The silence is not emptiness to fill. The silence is medicine to receive. Traditional Chinese medicine views winter as the season of the kidneys and water element, associated with rest, conservation, and deep reserves. According to this ancient system, winter is when life energy retreats to the core, protecting vital essence. Research from 2024 exploring traditional medical systems found correlations between these seasonal recommendations and modern chronobiology findings. Chinese medicine has been prescribing winter rest for thousands of years based on observation. Western science is now confirming the same conclusions using different tools. Your body knows what ancient physicians observed and modern scientists confirm. Listen to the universal message emerging from all these sources. Penguins huddle through Antarctic winter storms, rotating positions so no individual stays on the cold outer edge too long. The huddle can contain thousands of penguins, and research from 2023 using time-lapse photography reveals the rotation is continuous and cooperative. No penguin tries to stay in the center permanently. This remarkable cooperation enables the entire colony to survive conditions that would kill individuals. The lesson for humans struggling through winter is clear. You need a huddle. You need people who will rotate through difficulty with you. Isolation in winter is dangerous. Community is survival. Ask for help. Offer help. Rotate through the seasons together. Daylight savings time transitions affect human health measurably and negatively. Studies from 2024 show increases in heart attacks, strokes, and traffic accidents in the days following time changes, particularly the spring shift forward. Your circadian rhythm doesn't adjust instantly. It takes weeks to fully adapt to a 1-hour shift. This demonstrates how profoundly artificial schedules conflict with natural rhythms. When you force yourself to maintain summer schedules in winter despite your body's protests, you're creating constant jet lag. The solution isn't more willpower. The solution is acknowledging that human-made schedules don't override biological rhythms. Ice fishing requires different patience than summer fishing. In summer, you cast repeatedly, changing lures, moving locations, actively searching, but ice fishing means drilling a hole, dropping a line, and waiting, sometimes for hours, in cold stillness. According to fishing guides interviewed in 2023, successful ice fishing is 90% patience, 10% technique. You're waiting for fish to come to you, not chasing them. For humans, this illustrates winter's different success strategies. Summer success comes from hustling, but winter success comes from waiting. Stop chasing, stop forcing. Winter rewards those who can sit still in the cold. The fish are there beneath the ice. Wait for them correctly. Evergreen branches bend under heavy snow without breaking. Their flexibility is survival adaptation. If evergreens were rigid like summer branches, snow load would snap them. According to forest ecology research from 2024, this flexibility comes from different wood structure, longer fibers, moisture content optimized for weight bearing without rigidity. The metaphor is obvious. Winter teaches flexibility. The rigid break, the flexible survive. When life loads you with difficulty, the solution is not strengthening your resistance, it's increasing your flexibility. Bend without breaking. Let the weight curve you down temporarily, knowing you'll spring back when weight releases. True strength is flexible strength. Some winter birds sing different songs than they do in spring. White-throated sparrows use a simplified winter song that's shorter and less complex than their breeding season song. Research from 2023 suggests this conserves energy. Producing complex songs requires significant calories. They're still present, still connected, just using the winter version. For humans, this suggests editing your winter expression. You don't have to maintain summer's elaborate social performance. You can offer simplified versions, shorter conversations, smaller gatherings. This isn't being antisocial. This is being seasonally appropriate. Save your complex song for spring when you have energy to spare. Frost penetrates soil at a predictable rate based on temperature and moisture, about 1 inch per day of freezing weather. Civil engineers use frost depth maps to ensure building foundations go deep enough to avoid heaving. According to geological engineering research from 2024, understanding frost depth is essential for infrastructure. You need build deeper than frost penetrates, or damage is inevitable. For personal resilience, this teaches that surface-level preparation isn't enough. If your coping strategies are shallow, winter's frost will penetrate beneath them. You need deep roots, genuine self-knowledge, authentic relationships, practices that ground you below the frost line. Summer is for growing roots deep. Winter tests whether you grew them deep enough. The winter solstice, shortest day of the year, has been celebrated across cultures for millennia. Ancient peoples marked this turning point with fire festivals and feasts. They were celebrating not winter's depth, but winter's turning, the moment when days begin lengthening again, even though coldest weather still lies ahead. Anthropology research from 2023 notes that these celebrations serve psychological survival functions. Around December 21st, remind yourself, this is the darkest day. Tomorrow, light begins returning. Even if you still have months of cold ahead, the trajectory has reversed. You've survived the descent. Now comes the climb back toward brightness. The turn has happened. Light is returning. Slow wave sleep, the deepest, most restorative stage, predominates in the first third of the night. According to sleep science research from 2024, the timing of slow wave sleep appears tied to circadian rhythm, occurring primarily when melatonin levels peak. In winter, melatonin peaks earlier, meaning your body wants to enter deep sleep earlier than in summer. Going to bed at 8 or 9 p.m. in winter aligns with your biology's schedule for optimal repair. Staying up until midnight means missing the most valuable sleep hours. Winter is offering you better sleep quality if you accept earlier bedtimes. Maybe winter evenings should end at 9 p.m. Maybe your deepest healing happens before 10 p.m. Frozen lakes create their own weather systems. When cold air moves over relatively warmer water, moisture evaporates rapidly, creating intense fog banks and localized snow squalls. According to meteorology research from 2023, these lake effect phenomena can produce dramatically different conditions just miles apart. Your winter might be completely different from someone else's winter. Even though you're living in the same general conditions, your internal weather creates its own local effects. Stop comparing your winter to others' winters. Your storm is real, even if no one else sees it. Navigate your actual conditions, not the conditions you think you should have. Caribou migrate farther than any other land mammal, up to 3,000 miles annually. They follow ancient routes between summer calving grounds and winter ranges. But according to wildlife tracking research from 2024, climate change is disrupting these migrations. Some caribou populations are declining because they're following ancestral routes that no longer lead to what they need. The application to human life is uncomfortable. The routes that served your ancestors might not serve you. The strategies that worked for your parents might not work for you. You cannot simply repeat what previous generations did and expect the same results. What stays true is the principle. What changes is the application. Navigate your actual climate, not your ancestral climate. Lichen survives extreme cold by dehydrating completely. When temperatures drop, lichen expels all water from its cells, preventing ice crystal formation. In this desiccated state, lichen can survive -200 degrees Fahrenheit. According to biological research from 2023, lichen can cycle between active and dormant states thousands of times over a lifespan of centuries. The organism doesn't maintain constant vitality. It pulses between life and suspended animation. For humans, this demonstrates that you don't have to be consistently alive at full intensity. You can dehydrate certain parts of yourself during harsh conditions, letting them go dormant without killing them. Stop feeling guilty about what's dormant. Dormancy is sophisticated survival. We now understand that winter rest is not just beneficial, it's biologically essential for optimal human functioning. Your body and brain require seasonal variation in activity levels to maintain health. The research across chronobiology, neuroscience, and psychology consistently points to the same conclusion. Humans are seasonal creatures, living in a culture that denies seasonality. The fatigue you feel is not character weakness. The reduced motivation is not depression. The desire to withdraw is not antisocial pathology. These are correct biological responses to environmental signals. Once you understand this deeply, you can stop fighting yourself. This shift from resistance to cooperation is where preparation for new beginnings actually happens. Mosses remain green under snow all winter. While most plants shut down chlorophyll production and drop leaves, mosses keep their photosynthetic machinery ready. They're not actively growing under snow, but they're prepared to resume immediately when conditions allow. According to bryology research from 2024, this strategy works because mosses are so efficient that maintaining green tissue requires minimal resources. When snow melts, mosses immediately begin producing energy, while trees take weeks to wake up. For humans, this suggests an alternative to complete shutdown, maintaining minimum readiness while deeply resting. Deep rest with minimal maintenance, dormancy with readiness, sleep with one eye cracked open. Winter stars appear brighter because cold air holds less moisture and particulates. On clear winter nights, the atmosphere is more transparent than summer's humid air. According to astronomy research from 2023, winter is actually the optimal season for amateur stargazing, despite the cold. What you thought was obstacle creates better clarity than summer's comfortable conditions. For humans, winter's difficult emotions might actually create clearer vision than summer's comfortable distractions. When you're not busy and entertained, you see things you normally miss. Winter sadness is not cloudiness obscuring truth. Winter sadness is clarity, revealing truth. Let winter show you what summer's brightness obscured. Children naturally want more sleep in winter, but school schedules ignore this need. Studies from 2024 tracking adolescent sleep patterns found that teenagers' natural sleep onset shifts even later during winter months. Yet schools still start early, requiring wake times that create massive sleep debt during precisely the season when extra sleep is most beneficial. The result? Winter months show highest rates of teenage depression and academic struggles. For adults, the parallel is clear. If even young, resilient systems suffer from winter sleep deprivation, how much more are you suffering? Winter is not the season to stay up late. Winter is the season to be in bed by 9 p.m. Glaciers flow constantly. Even in the coldest winter, ice that appears solid and static is actually moving downhill at rates of inches to feet per day. According to glaciology research from 2024, glaciers never truly freeze solid. There's always movement, always change, always flow, just at timescales too slow for human perception. For someone struggling through winter's apparent stasis, this offers perspective. You are still moving even when movement feels imperceptible. Progress is still happening even when progress seems impossible. Stop judging your winter progress by summer standards. Glacial pace is still pace. You're not stuck, you're moving at winter speed. Come spring, you'll look back and see how far you actually traveled. Hibernating animals don't dream. REM sleep, the stage when dreams occur, is suppressed during hibernation because it's metabolically expensive. According to sleep research from 2023, dreaming appears to serve emotional processing and creative problem solving, all valuable during active seasons but unnecessary during survival mode. For humans in winter rest, this suggests that reduced dreaming or dream recall during winter might be normal. You might sleep deeply without remembering dreams. This isn't sleep dysfunction, it's sleep efficiency. Your body is prioritizing physical restoration over psychological processing. This also suggests being gentle with yourself. If winter feels emotionally flat, the emotional richness will return. Snowflakes form around tiny particles, dust, pollen, or ash. Pure water vapor alone won't crystallize into snow. It needs a nucleation point, something solid for ice crystals to build around. According to atmospheric science research from 2024, these particles are often microscopic debris from continents away. Your local snowfall might form around dust from the Sahara, something foreign, something that traveled enormous distances, becomes the center of something beautiful and unique. For humans, this offers profound comfort. Your struggles, your traumas, these might be the exact nucleation points around which your most beautiful growth crystallizes. You're not building beauty despite your damage. You're building beauty around your damage. Ravens thrive in winter while other birds struggle. They're highly intelligent, adaptable, and willing to eat almost anything. According to ornithology research from 2023, raven populations actually increase during winter because they face less competition. Ravens have learned to follow wolf packs, feeding on leftovers. They've learned to crack frozen food by dropping it from heights. Winter reveals which species were truly adaptable versus which just appeared successful in summer's abundance. For humans, winter reveals what's actually resilient. Your relationships that survive winter isolation are your real relationships. Your motivations that survive winter darkness are your true motivations. Winter is not destroying you, it's revealing you. That's who you actually are. Ice Age humans survived by gathering in caves and sharing resources. Archaeological evidence from 2024 reveals that ancient humans made it through glacial periods by cooperating intensively. Individualism would have been fatal. Survival required community. According to anthropology research, the very things that make us human, compassion, cooperation, communication, intensified during ice ages. Harsh conditions didn't make us cruel. Harsh conditions made us kinder because kindness was survival strategy. For modern humans, in personal winters, the lesson is clear. Consider reaching out instead of isolating. You might find that accepting support feels better than toughing it out alone. Vulnerability can become strength when you let others see your struggle. Your survival might depend on your willingness to gather around fires with others. Crystals grow slowly and form perfect structures only under stable conditions. Rapid crystal formation creates flawed, weak structures, but slow growth under consistent conditions allows atoms to align properly. According to materials science research from 2023, this principle applies to everything from snowflakes to gemstones. Slow formation creates superior structure. For personal growth, the parallel is obvious. You're forming new structures during winter rest, new neural pathways, new perspectives, new emotional patterns. But proper formation requires slow, stable conditions. Give yourself winter's slow time. Let new patterns form at natural pace. Don't rush your own crystallization. Perfect crystals require patience. And so we arrive at the deepest truth. Winter rest prepares you for new beginnings, not by adding something, but by revealing what was always there beneath. It strips away the unnecessary, the performative, the false. It clears ground of dead growth that prevents new growth. You are not the same person who entered this winter. Parts of you have died. Good. Those parts needed to die. And now, underneath where they once stood, you can feel new growth stirring. Not yet visible, not yet strong, but undeniably present. The spring inside you is preparing because you let winter do its work. You might be feeling tired now. That's perfectly fine. Breathe slowly. Feel the cycles. Winter follows autumn. Spring follows winter. Cold follows warmth. Warmth follows cold. Rest follows effort. Effort follows rest. All are circles, cycles, endless orbits, like your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. A small cycle within the vast universe. You are also part of that eternal movement. You don't need to hold on to anything. Let everything unfold in its perfect order, like seasons silently turning in their orbits, unhurried, unresisting, simply existing. Let the cycle carry you. We're almost there now. New beginnings already exist inside you right now, waiting. They're not something you need to search for or create. They're roots beneath frost, springs compressed in ice. Winter isn't preventing them. Winter is protecting them, preparing them. When the moment is right, they'll emerge naturally. You don't make spring happen. You allow spring to happen. Your only job is to not interfere. Stop digging up growth to check progress. Stop breaking ice to rush the thaw. Every new beginning has its own perfect timing. Your control is in cooperating or resisting. Choose cooperation. The new beginning is already there. Winter is just making sure it's ready. Silence in nature is never complete. Even in the quietest winter forest, there's wind in branches, snow settling, your own breath, your heartbeat. What we call silence is actually subtlety, a shift from loud sounds to quiet ones, from external noise to internal rhythm. Winter teaches the difference. Summer's abundance is loud. Winter's scarcity is quiet, but both are alive. For your inner life, this means winter's emotional quietness is not emptiness, it's subtlety. Your feelings haven't disappeared, they've become more delicate, more private. This is not numbness. This is refinement. You're learning to hear whispers instead of needing shouts. Every 7 years, your body replaces almost every cell. The physical you from 7 years ago is mostly gone, yet you remain you. Same memories, same personality. According to cellular biology research from 2024, this reveals that identity is pattern, not substance. You're not the cells themselves, but the pattern they maintain. And patterns can shift during transitions. Winter gives you the transition space where pattern shifts can happen gently. You're not trying to become completely new. You're just adjusting the pattern slightly. Small changes in pattern create large changes in life. This is doable. This is how real change happens. Not through revolution, but through subtle evolution during quiet seasons. The word hibernate comes from Latin for winter quarters, a place you go, not a state you enter. Original meaning suggests winter is journey to a safe place, not shutdown of life. Animals don't stop existing when they hibernate. They just exist differently. For humans, winter rest is also about finding your quarters, your safe place, your protected space. This might be physical, a cozy room, a comfortable routine, or psychological, a therapy practice, a meditation habit, or spiritual, a faith community, a nature connection. Your winter quarters are where you go to weather the cold. Build good quarters, find your place, create your shelter. Even the strongest bears need dens. Northern Lights inspired ancient myths across cultures, dancing spirits, celestial battles, messages from gods. People watching the same phenomenon interpreted it through their cultural lenses. According to anthropology research from 2023, this demonstrates that meaning is constructed, not discovered. There's no single true meaning for your winter experience. This offers liberating permission. The meaning of your struggle is not fixed. You get to choose what it means. One person's winter depression is another person's spiritual deepening. Same external circumstances, different chosen meanings. Winter is offering you a blank canvas. What story will you tell about this time? Choose interpretations that empower you. You're writing the myth of your own winter. Spring will come whether you're ready or not. The earth will tilt toward the sun. Daylight will increase. Temperatures will rise. This is inevitable. Your job is not making spring happen. Your job is being ready when spring happens. And the only way to be ready is to have actually rested during winter. According to chronobiology research from 2024, people who sleep more in winter report higher energy in spring compared to those who maintained identical sleep year-round. The rest pays forward. Spring arrives regardless. But whether you meet it exhausted or rested depends entirely on how you spend winter. You cannot catch up on missed rest later. Rest now. Spring won't wait, but it will reward those who actually rested. Firelight has specific wavelength properties that don't disrupt melatonin production. Unlike blue light from screens, firelight's warm orange spectrum allows your brain to maintain sleep-ready chemistry while providing light. According to photobiology research from 2023, firelight exposure before bed actually improves sleep quality. For modern humans, this suggests that winter evening routines should include warm lighting, candles, fire, orange-tinted bulbs, instead of bright overhead lights and screens. You're fighting against your entire evolutionary history when you bathe in blue light until bedtime. Your brain thinks it's perpetual noon. Return to firelight in winter evenings. Your ancient brain will recognize the signal. Night is here. Sleep is safe. Ice Age ended not with sudden warmth, but with gradual thaw over thousands of years. According to paleoclimate research from 2024, the transition took approximately 10,000 years. That's 400 human generations of gradual warming. For your personal winter ending, this suggests patience. You won't wake up one morning completely transformed. You'll shift gradually. A little more energy this week, slightly better mood next week. By May, you might look back and realize you're completely different from January. But day to day, change will feel imperceptible. This is correct pace. Trust the gradual thaw. Celebrate tiny improvements. Glacial pace, remember, still pace. Gratitude practices are more effective in winter than summer. Research from 2023, studying seasonal effects on gratitude interventions, found that people who practiced daily gratitude during winter showed significantly improved mood compared to controls, while summer gratitude showed minimal effects. Winter strips easy pleasures, revealing what you're actually grateful for when everything else is removed. When you identify things you're genuinely grateful for during difficulty, those grateful feelings are more deeply felt. For winter rest, consider adding a gratitude practice specifically now. What are you grateful for, despite the cold, despite the darkness? Maybe just warmth, shelter, food, a few reliable people. Finding gratitude in scarcity builds resilience that abundance can't teach. The coldest part of winter comes after the solstice, even though days are getting longer. This is called seasonal lag. Earth's oceans and land masses take time to cool down and warm up. According to climatology research from 2024, this lag is typically 4 to 6 weeks in temperate zones. Late January and early February are often colder than December, despite significantly more daylight. For human psychology, this means the hardest part might come after you think you've survived the worst. Days are lengthening, but you feel worse, not better. This is the lag. Your body and mind take time to respond to improving conditions. You're not broken because February feels harder. You're just experiencing seasonal lag. Keep going. The lag passes. So could winter rest change how you understand beginnings? It already has. You now see that beginnings don't emerge from emptiness. They emerge from fullness that was dormant. The most powerful new starts come from deep endings. The most authentic growth comes from complete rest. You cannot skip the difficult middle. Winter is not what you endure before life begins again. Winter is where life concentrates before it explodes. Every seed knows this. The soil knows this. And now, finally, you know it too. The resistance is gone. The fighting has stopped. You've surrendered to winter's wisdom, and in that surrender, you've become ready for something you weren't ready for before. Meltwater from glaciers carries minerals that fertilize oceans hundreds of miles away. As glaciers grind rock beneath them, they create nutrient-rich sediment. When glaciers melt, this sediment flows to the sea, feeding phytoplankton blooms. According to marine ecology research from 2024, some of the world's richest fishing grounds exist where glacial meltwater enters the ocean. The glacier's slow grinding creates summer's ocean abundance. For your personal struggle, this reveals that nothing you're experiencing is wasted. The grinding, the pressure, the slow erosion. This is creating nutrients you don't recognize yet. Come spring, you'll carry these winter minerals with you. Your winter is creating richness that will fertilize everything downstream. Some insects produce antifreeze proteins that prevent ice formation in their cells down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit. According to biochemistry research from 2023, these proteins work by binding to tiny ice crystals and preventing them from growing. The insects don't avoid the cold. They survive the cold through chemical adaptation. For humans, this suggests that you don't need to avoid winter's difficulties. You need internal resources that let you survive them. Therapy is antifreeze protein. Meditation is antifreeze protein. True friendship is antifreeze protein. These resources don't prevent winter from reaching you, but they prevent winter from destroying you. Build your antifreeze proteins before winter. They're what keeps you alive when temperature drops. Ancient people marked time by winters, not years. they'd say 40 winters instead of 40 years. According to linguistic research from 2024, this reflects that winter was the most memorable, most challenging, most defining season. Winters determined who survived and who didn't. For modern humans, this suggests reframing how you measure your life. Maybe count significant winters instead of years. The winter you survived divorce, the winter you recovered from illness, the winter you were unemployed. These are your real markers. How many winters have you survived? Count them, honor them, wear them like badges. Each winter survived is proof you're stronger than you knew. Dawn arrives earlier each day after solstice, but sunset arrives later, even earlier. Because of orbital mechanics, the earliest sunset happens in early December, before solstice. The latest sunrise happens in early January, after solstice. According to astronomical research from 2023, this asymmetry confuses perception of when days start lengthening. For personal transformation, this reveals that change is asymmetric and partial. Your mood might improve while your energy stays low. Your creativity might flow while your relationships stay difficult. Recovery is not symmetrical. Different parts of you thaw at different rates. Celebrate the light that's returning even while acknowledging the darkness that remains. Both are true. Wolves howl in chorus, and each wolf's voice is unique. When a pack howls together, they harmonize. Different pitches, different rhythms, creating a chorus that sounds larger than the actual pack. According to wolf behavior research from 2024, this serves both to bond the pack and to intimidate rivals. The chorus creates community within and projects strength outward. For humans struggling in winter, this suggests that sharing your experience creates harmony that's stronger than individual voices. A support group, honest conversations with friends about winter difficulty, these are howling in chorus. You discover you're not alone. Together, you sound stronger. Find your pack. Join the howl. The harmony makes the dark less dark. Spring flowers that bloomed earliest die in late frosts. Plants that waited longer survive. This is not injustice, it's information. The environment is teaching what timing works. According to evolutionary biology research from 2023, this demonstrates that patience is selected for, aggression is selected against. The individuals who rush toward opportunity before conditions are truly ready, pay the price. For your new beginnings, this is wisdom. Don't rush into spring just because you're eager. Don't force new starts before conditions actually support them. Wait, be patient. Let spring come to you. You'll know when timing is right because it will feel easy. If you're pushing hard, timing is wrong. If it's flowing naturally, timing is right. Night sky in winter shows different constellations than summer sky. Earth's orbit around the sun means we face different directions each season, revealing different portions of galaxy. According to astronomy education research from 2024, this seasonal rotation means you never see the complete sky from one location. You need the full year's cycle to see everything available. For personal growth, this suggests that winter reveals truths you can't see from summer's perspective. Your winter insights are real and valuable. Don't privilege summer's views over winter's views. Winter shows you constellations summer hides. Both views are partial. Both views are necessary. Collect perspectives across seasons. Everything alive right now survived every winter that came before. You are descendant of an unbroken chain of winter survivors going back thousands of generations. Every single ancestor made it through winter. They survived ice ages, crop failures, brutal storms. According to population genetics research from 2024, humans alive today are enriched for genetic variants that promote winter resilience. You literally inherited winter survival from thousands of successful ancestors. When winter feels impossible, remember, your body has done this thousands of times before in previous forms. Your genes know how to survive winter even when your mind doesn't. Trust your ancestry. Trust your biology. You carry winter wisdom in your cells. Your body knows. The answer to our question is complete now. Yes, winter rest prepares you for new beginnings. It does so by stripping away what's unnecessary, revealing what's essential, healing what's damaged, and planting what will grow. Winter is not punishment before reward. Winter is the work that makes reward possible. Without winter, spring would destroy you. Without rest, activity would exhaust you. Without endings, beginnings would be superficial. Winter gives you the foundation that summer will build upon. You don't just survive winter, you graduate from winter. And the diploma is the new person you've become. Quieter, stronger, truer, ready. This journey through winter facts is ending now, but winter is not ending yet. The cold remains. The difficulty persists. But you're different now than you were 100 facts ago. Something has shifted. You see winter differently. You see rest differently. You see yourself differently. The facts were just facts, true things about nature, biology, physics. But strung together, they've woven something larger. Permission. Permission to rest without guilt. Permission to slow without shame. Permission to be exactly where you are, instead of where you think you should be. Winter accepts you exactly as you are. Can you accept yourself the same way? New beginnings don't announce themselves with trumpets. They arrive quietly, in small moments. A Tuesday in March when you notice energy returning. A Sunday in April when you feel motivation stirring. A random Wednesday when you wake up before your alarm and don't mind. These are beginnings. Spring doesn't arrive all at once, it arrives in pieces. First one flower, then another, then suddenly hundreds. Your new beginning is already arriving, piece by piece. You're already in the transition. You're already thawing. You just haven't noticed yet because you're looking for dramatic transformation instead of gentle emergence. Stop looking for revolution. Start noticing evolution. The new beginning is already here, growing in the cracks. Winter taught you that preparation is invisible until it isn't. All season long, nothing seems to happen. Then spring arrives, and suddenly everything happens at once. It seems like magic, but it's not magic. It's the result of months of invisible preparation. The trees were growing roots. The bears were preserving muscle. Everything was preparing during apparent stillness. You were preparing too, during months of rest, of quiet. You were healing injuries you didn't know you had. You were processing experiences you never found time to integrate. And now, as winter finally ends, that preparation is about to become visible. Spring will seem sudden, but you'll know better. You'll know that spring was created by winter's hidden work. This is not ending, this is turning. Everything in nature is circular, not linear. Winter doesn't end, it turns into spring. Spring doesn't end, it turns into summer. Nothing ever truly ends. Everything transforms. You're not reaching an ending, you're approaching a turning point. The person you've been is turning into the person you're becoming. This turn is natural, inevitable, and unstoppable. You don't have to force it. You just have to allow it. Turns happen on their own schedule. Your only choice is whether to resist the turn or cooperate with it. Resistance hurts. Cooperation flows. Winter taught you to cooperate. Spring will reward you for learning that lesson. Let the turn happen. You're not ending, you're turning. And so, the real change isn't in winter, it's in you. Winter didn't change. Winter has always been exactly this: cold, dark, difficult, and necessary. What changed is your relationship to winter. You stopped fighting it. You started seeing it as teacher. You learned winter's language. You understood winter's purpose. You accepted winter's gifts. And in accepting winter, you accepted yourself. Because you are like winter, sometimes cold, sometimes dark, sometimes difficult, and absolutely necessary. You are your own season, cycling through phases, turning through changes. The world needs your winter as much as it needs your spring. You are essential, exactly as you are, in whatever season you're in. Rest now. Spring will come, but even more important, you'll be ready when it does, because winter prepared you. Sleep now, winter survivor. You're already the new beginning you were waiting for. And so, our quiet journey through winter's wisdom comes to a gentle close. We've traveled from frozen soil, secretly preparing gardens, to your own body's seasonal wisdom calling you toward rest, discovering along the way that endings and beginnings are not opposites. They're the same process, viewed from different angles. From bears recycling themselves in torpor to you learning to trust the dark, we've glimpsed how winter is both teacher and healer, both challenge and gift. Winter reminds us that rest is not the opposite of productivity. Rest is where productivity begins. Much of nature's most significant work happens in silence, beneath snow, inside bodies, during sleep, in darkness that protects tender growth from harsh light. Without winter's pause, spring's explosion would be impossible. Without rest's recovery, activity's demands would destroy us. By pausing to honor rest, we glimpse the extraordinary hidden in ordinary rhythms. And now, in these final minutes, take the deepest breath you can, as deep as possible. Think about the unity of everything, how water cycles through clouds, rivers, oceans, and rain, everything connected, everything returning, everything flowing. You are part of that flow, that cycle, that eternal return. The rest you take tonight feeds the energy you'll have tomorrow. The winter you survive becomes the spring you celebrate. You are not separate from nature's rhythms. You are nature's rhythms, expressed as human life. Let your entire being dissolve into the rhythm of seasons, into the breath of the earth, into stillness that's preparing for movement, into rest that's gathering for growth. Prepare for deep sleep. No boundaries left between you and winter's wisdom. Only peace, only preparation, only perfect trust in the turning. If these calm stories from winter helped you breathe a little easier tonight, passing them along could help another tired soul drift into rest. One quiet share, one peaceful night at a time. But there's no need to do anything now, nothing at all. You've traveled far tonight, farther than most journeys take you. You can allow these thoughts of winter and spring to fade now, like morning mist dissolving in gentle warmth, leaving only peaceful calm behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, as if snow is covering you, as if winter itself is tucking you in. If sleep comes, let it carry you like a seed drifting down through dark soil, smoothly, inevitably, into depths where transformation happens without trying. If your eyes are still open, the next video is waiting for you, ready to continue the journey. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that feels safe and warm. Tomorrow, winter will still be here. Seeds will still be waiting beneath snow. But tonight belongs to rest. Tonight belongs to preparation. Tonight belongs to the invisible work that makes spring possible. Rest well, winter survivor. And remember, you are already the new beginning you were waiting for. You became it during the dark. You became it during the quiet. You became it right now, in this very moment, by finally letting yourself rest. Fall asleep to gentle facts. Dream deeper with bedtime science. Good night.